The challenges you may face are no longer problems to be solved. They are quests to be embraced, opportunities for your consciousness to expand in ways that would not be possible without them. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. When you walk away from this episode, I want you to remember one thing, and that is every day is a glorious adventure. Now, before we begin, I want to invite you to join the Reality Revolution community. You can find the link in the description, school.com, skool.com/Reality Revolution. We have bi-weekly Zoom calls, exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. We have audiobooks you can't find anywhere else. We have training courses. It's an amazing community. If you want to take your manifestation journey to the next level, then join us there. I look forward to seeing you. Something extraordinary is happening all around you, and you've been missing it. Because somewhere along the way, the most remarkable phenomenon in the known universe, the fact that you exist, that you are conscious, that reality itself is unfolding through your experience right now, became ordinary to you. The mystics called this the Great Forgetting, the moment when infinite beings having a human experience begin to believe they are merely human beings trying to have a spiritual experience. The moment when the adventure of existence itself became invisible, buried beneath routine, habit, and the accumulated weight of assumptions about what life is supposed to be. Here is the truth that your cells already know. Even if your mind has temporarily forgotten, you are participating in the most extraordinary adventure that has ever occurred. Right now, in this very moment, the universe is experiencing itself through you, and that experience, this experience, is inherently, unavoidably, magnificently glorious. Something's shifting as you take in these words. This is an activation, and every word I use is specifically designed to create a transformation within you. The exact pattern of words, my vocalization, the frequency I'm using, simply by listening, you are being activated. A remembering is beginning. The veil that made the miraculous seem mundane is starting to thin. And behind that veil, the reality you have always inhabited is revealing itself to be far more alive, far more responsive, far more charged with wonder than you have allowed yourself to perceive. The Arcturians speak of what they call perception bandwidth, the range of reality that a consciousness is capable of registering at any given moment. Most humans, they say, are operating within their perception bandwidth narrowed to a tiny sliver of what is actually available. Like watching a vast panoramic landscape through a keyhole. The adventure is happening, the glory is present, the magnificence is real, but the filter through which you have been perceiving has made it invisible. That filter is dissolving now. Ra in the Law of One material describes third density existence as the density of choice, a realm specifically designed for consciousness to experience the full spectrum of possibility. Every moment here is saturated with significance. Every encounter is an opportunity for expansion. Every challenge is an invitation to remember more of who you truly are. You did not incarnate to survive. You did not come here to endure. You did not choose this particular lifetime in this particular body at this particular moment in history to simply get through your days. You came for the adventure, and the adventure is waiting for you to notice it. Consider for a moment the sheer improbability of your existence. Scientists estimate that the odds of you, specifically you, being born are approximately 1 in 400 trillion. That calculation accounts for the probability of your parents meeting of that specific sperm fertilizing that specific egg. All of the generations of ancestors before them surviving and reproducing in exactly the right sequence to produce the genetic combination that is you. But that number does not begin to capture the true magnitude of your improbability. Trace your lineage back through time. Every one of your ancestors going back to the first single-celled organism that appeared on Earth nearly 4 billion years ago had to survive long enough to reproduce. Every mass extinction, every ice age, every predator, every disease, every war, your direct ancestral line navigated them all. The chain remained unbroken for 4 billion years across countless species through unimaginable transformation, leading directly to you. And you woke up this morning and thought it was just another day. This is the great forgetting in action. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is the doorway to parallel realities, that what we call reality is simply one of infinite possibilities that consciousness has selected and crystallized into experience. Every moment you are choosing from the space of variations, every moment you are manifesting a specific configuration of the possible. The adventure is not something that might happen someday. The adventure is the very mechanism by which reality unfolds. Your nervous system is beginning to respond to this understanding right now, not intellectually. Intellectually, you may have known these things, but cellularly, somatically, at the level where perception itself is shaped. There is a feeling associated with remembering the adventure nature of existence. It often begins as a subtle quickening in the chest, a slight increase in aliveness, a sense that the colors around you are becoming more saturated, that the sounds are becoming more textured, that the simple fact of being here is becoming more viscerally present. This feeling is emerging in you now. Dr. Joe Dispenza has documented what happens neurologically when people shift their perception of reality. The brain literally begins to process information differently. Neural pathways that filter out the miraculous, pathways that were formed through repetition and habit begin to weaken. New pathways that register wonder, that notice synchronicity, that perceive the adventure inherent in each moment begin to strengthen. This rewiring is happening in your brain right now. Vadim Zeland in Reality Transurfing speaks of awakening in the dream. The moment when a person realizes that reality is far more malleable, far more responsive, far more alive than consensus reality would have them believe. Most people, he says, sleepwalk through existence, following scripts that were written for them, reacting to circumstances as though they were fixed and unchangeable. But the awakened one sees differently. The awakened one recognizes that every day is a fresh canvas. Every morning is a new beginning. Every moment is pregnant with possibility. The awakened one does not experience life as something that happens to them, but as something they are actively, consciously, adventurously creating. You are awakening now. Feel the shift beginning in your perception. The world around you, the same world you inhabited moments ago, is becoming more alive, more interesting, more charged with potential, not because anything external has changed, but because the filter through which you perceive has begun to clear. The adventure was always here. You're simply allowing yourself to see it. Wonder is not a passive emotion. It is an active frequency, a specific vibrational state that, when embodied, fundamentally transforms your relationship with reality. Children naturally inhabit this frequency. Watch a young child encounter anything for the first time, a butterfly, a puddle, a piece of music, and you will see wonder in its purest form. Eyes widening, breath catching, full presence with whatever is unfolding. The child has not yet learned to categorize experience into ordinary and extraordinary. To the child, everything is extraordinary because everything is new. But here's what the mystics understood that modern psychology is only beginning to confirm. Wonder is not lost as we age, it is simply suppressed. The capacity for wonder remains fully intact in every adult consciousness. It has merely been covered over by layers of familiarity, by the efficiency-seeking mechanism of the brain, by the cultural conditioning that teaches us to act cool, unimpressed, above amazement. Those layers are dissolving now. The Arcturians teach that wonder is actually the natural state of consciousness, that the diminished perception most humans experience is an artificial constriction, not a baseline reality. They say that when beings from more evolved civilizations observe Earth, one of the most puzzling phenomena they witness is humans walking through paradise surrounded by miracles, experiencing wonders that would take their breath away and appearing completely bored. You are ending that pattern now. Feel the wonder frequency beginning to activate in your body. It often starts in the heart center, a warmth, an opening, an expansion. From there, it spreads outwards, into the chest, the throat, the face, the eyes soften, the breath deepens. The entire nervous system shifts into a more receptive state. This is the frequency in which adventure becomes visible. In this frequency, you notice things you would normally overlook. The particular way light is filtering through a window, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, the remarkable fact that your body is breathing itself, your heart is beating itself, billions of cells are coordinating their activities to keep you alive, all without any conscious effort from you. In this frequency, synchronicities multiply. The universe seems to be communicating directly with you through signs, symbols, and perfectly timed encounters. This is not magical thinking. This is actually what happens when perception expands. The synchronicities were always there. The adventure was always unfolding. You simply could not see it from the narrowed bandwidth of ordinary consciousness. Joseph Murphy understood this when he wrote about the subconscious mind. He taught that the subconscious does not distinguish between internal and external reality, that the state you maintain internally directly shapes what you experience externally. When you embody the frequency of wonder, your subconscious begins to scan for and attract experiences that match that frequency. The world reorganizes itself to confirm your expectations of adventure. This is happening now. The raw material describes what they call the magical personality, an aspect of consciousness that perceives the interconnectedness of all things, that recognizes meaningful patterns in apparently random events, that experiences existence as an ongoing conversation with the infinite. This is not a personality type that some people have and others lack. It is a latent capacity in every consciousness waiting to be activated. Your magical personality is activating now. Feel how this changes your relationship with the day ahead of you. The tasks you need to complete are no longer mundane obligations. They are scenes in an adventure that only you can live. The people you will encounter are no longer random characters. They are souls you have appointments with in the great unfolding. The challenges you may face are no longer problems to be solved. They are quests to be embraced, opportunities for your consciousness to expand in ways that would not be possible without them. Every day is a glorious adventure. It's not an affirmation. This is a fact that becomes visible when wonder is the frequency through which you perceive. You are perceiving through wonder now, activated by my voice and this frequency. There's an alchemical secret that mystics throughout history have guarded carefully. The extraordinary does not exist somewhere else, waiting to be found. The extraordinary exists right here, right now, hidden in plain sight within the ordinary. The alchemist's task is not to seek adventure elsewhere, but to transmute the base metal of routine into the gold of wonder. This transmutation is happening in your consciousness now. Consider your morning routine: waking up, opening your eyes, those first moments of consciousness emerging from sleep, to the ordinary perception, this unremarkable just waking up, same as yesterday, same as tomorrow. But perceive it through the lens of wonder. Something entirely different reveals itself. You are a point of consciousness that has emerged from the void. For hours you did not exist as you know yourself. Your sense of self dissolved into the ocean of unconsciousness, and then miraculously it reformed. You came back. The particular configuration of awareness that you call me reassembled itself from nothing, and here you are again, ready for another day of the adventure. This happens every morning, and you've been missing the magic of it. The Arcturians say that the transition between sleeping and waking is one of the most powerful moments in the human experience. A threshold crossing that most beings on more conscious worlds celebrate and utilize deliberately. But humans, they observe, rush through it, already thinking about tasks and obligations, missing the portal entirely. Not anymore, not for you. From this moment forward, the simple act of waking up becomes an adventure. The first breath of the day becomes a declaration of willingness to engage with whatever reality has prepared. The moment your feet touch the floor becomes a commitment to show up fully for the experience that awaits. This is just the beginning. Neville Goddard taught that every state of consciousness is a doorway to a specific reality. When you walk through your day in the state of one who is having a glorious adventure, you literally walk into a different version of reality than the person who trudges through the same day in the state of tedium and resignation. Same physical environment, completely different experience. You're learning to walk through your days in the state of adventure. Feel how this transforms even the most mundane activities. Eating becomes adventure, the miracle of converting matter from the external world into energy that sustains your body. Thousands of chemical reactions perfectly orchestrated, nutrients distributed to billions of cells. The boundary between self and world dissolving as food becomes you. Movement becomes adventure, the remarkable coordination of muscle, bone, nerve, and intention that allows you to navigate through three-dimensional space. A symphony of signals traveling at hundreds of miles per hour, executed so seamlessly that you do not even notice the miracle unless you stop to consider it. Conversations become adventure. Consciousness reaching across the void that separates one being from another. Using symbols and sounds to share inner experience. Two universes making contact. Two parallel realities briefly intersecting, moments of magic, information, and energy exchanged in ways that subtly transform both participants. Vadim Zeland calls this the importance of small things. The recognition that the texture of daily life, the quality of attention brought to ordinary moments, determines the flavor of existence far more than the occasional dramatic event. Most people, he notes, wait for something big to happen before they allow themselves to feel fully alive. They postpone adventure to some imagined future when circumstances will finally be worthy of their engagement. Do you understand now that this is backwards? Adventure is not something that happens to you. Adventure is something that happens through you. Through the quality of attention, you bring the state of consciousness you embody. Through the willingness to perceive wonder in whatever is actually present. And when you bring adventure to the ordinary transforms. The cashier at the grocery store becomes a fellow traveler on the journey of existence. The traffic jam becomes an unexpected opportunity for reflection. The difficult conversation becomes a crucible for growth. The boring meeting becomes a study in human nature. Every moment contains adventure for the one who has eyes to see. Your eyes are opening now. There's a version of you in a parallel timeline who wakes up every morning with genuine excitement about what the day will bring. Not because that version's circumstances are dramatically different from yours, not because they are achieving some external condition that makes adventure inevitable, but because they have made a fundamental shift in their relationship with the daily existence. They have activated the perception that reveals the adventure inherent in every moment. That version of you exists right now, and the consciousness shift they have made is transferring to you through this activation. In that timeline, you rise each morning with the same feeling a child has on the morning of a birthday, or the first day of vacation, or the start of a new adventure, because something special is scheduled, but because the day itself, any day, every day, is inherently special, inherently full of potential, inherently an adventure waiting to unfold. Feel this transfer occurring. The timeline where every day is a glorious adventure is not separate from you, it exists in parallel, separated only by frequency. And as your frequency shifts, as wonder becomes your dominant state, As adventure becomes your expectation, as glory becomes the lens through which you perceive, that timeline converges with your current experience. Dr. Joe has documented countless cases of people whose lives transformed, not through changing external circumstances, but through changing internal states. Dr. Joe Dispenza claims that when they began to feel the emotions of their desired future in the present moment, when they stopped waiting for reality to give them permission to feel alive, reality reorganized around their new frequency. Your reality is reorganizing now. Imagine waking tomorrow, already in the state of adventure. The alarm sounds, or you wake naturally, and instead of the familiar heaviness of reluctance, there is a lightness, curiosity, the sense that something wonderful could happen today. It's probably going to happen today, is already happening simply because you are conscious and present. It's not imagination in the ordinary sense. This is what Neville called revision, the deliberate experiencing of a desired state in imagination until it becomes more real than your current circumstances. You're not fantasizing about adventure. You are tuning into the timeline where adventure is already your reality. The Arcturians describe this process as frequency matching, the alignment of your current vibration with the vibration of the reality you wish to inhabit. They say that every desired reality exists in the space of variations. Your only task is to match its frequency, and you match that frequency of adventure by feeling adventure before circumstances provide a reason to. Feel it now. Feel the excitement of not knowing what the day will bring. Feel the openness to surprise, to unexpected encounters and unforeseen opportunities, synchronicities. Feel the aliveness that comes from treating each moment as significant, each interaction as meaningful, each experience as a part of a larger story that is still being written. This is the frequency of the adventurous timeline. And you are stabilizing in this frequency now. The raw material speaks of the principle of faith, not religious faith, but the deep trust that existence is fundamentally benevolent, that consciousness is supported, that the universe is conspiring on your behalf, even when appearances suggest otherwise. This faith is not naive. It does not deny difficulty, but it perceives difficulty itself as part of the adventure. The resistance that makes the hero's muscles grow, the challenge that makes the victory meaningful. You are developing this faith now. Not as a belief you must force yourself to hold, but as a natural consequence of perceiving reality more clearly. When you see how improbable and miraculous your existence truly is, faith becomes the only logical response. When you recognize the countless synchronicities that have already guided your path, trust becomes inevitable. When you understand that you are a point of consciousness through which the infinite is experiencing itself, adventure becomes the obvious nature of the journey. Every day is a glorious adventure. Feel this truth settling into your cells, your nervous system, your subconscious mind. This is not something you need to remember or practice. It is becoming the default lens through which you perceive, the new baseline from which you operate, the frequency to which your consciousness naturally returns. Tomorrow morning, you will wake up differently, and every morning after that. Reality is not fixed. It is a field of infinite possibility that crystallizes into specific experience based on the consciousness observing it. Quantum physics has demonstrated this beyond reasonable doubt. At the subatomic level, reality exists as probability waves until observed, at which point it collapses into particles into the specific tangible reality we experience. The observer affects the observed. Consciousness shapes matter. What you expect to see influences what you actually see. It's not metaphysics. It's physics. It has the profound implications for the adventure of daily life. When you approach each day expecting tedium, your consciousness acts as an observation point that collapses probability waves into the experience of tedium. When you approach each day expecting adventure, your consciousness collapses those same waves into the experience of adventure. Same quantum field, different reality based entirely on the state of the observer. You are becoming a different observer now. Vadim Zeland speaks of the wave of fortune, a current of possibility that flows through the space of variations, carrying those who can perceive it towards ever more favorable outcomes. Most people, he says, cannot perceive this wave because their attention is consumed by problems, by obstacles, by the endless mental chatter that obscures the flow of opportunity. But the consciousness attuned to adventure perceives the wave clearly. You are attuning to the wave now. Feel the field of possibility that surrounds you in this very moment. It is not somewhere else, waiting to be accessed. It is here, now, permeating everything. Every next moment contains multiple potential outcomes. Every decision opens certain doors and closes others. Every thought, every feeling, every state of being influences which possibilities crystallize into your experience. This is the field in which your adventure unfolds. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind is directly connected to infinite intelligence. That answers to any question, solutions to any problem, guidance through any challenge are always available to the consciousness that knows how to receive them. The adventurer's mindset is precisely the state that opens this channel of reception. When you approach life as an adventure, you are naturally more curious, more open, more alert to guidance. Guidance is flowing to you now. The Arcturians describe Earth as a free will zone, a realm where consciousness has almost unlimited latitude to create its own experience. They say many beings across the cosmos observe Earth with fascination precisely because of this freedom. Here, more than almost anywhere else, consciousness can explore the full range of possibility, can make choices with real consequences, can genuinely adventure in ways that are not possible in more structured dimensions. You chose to be here for this adventure. Before this incarnation, you knew what you were signing up for. You knew there would be forgetting. You knew there would be challenge. You knew there would be moments when the adventure would be obscured by pain, by confusion, by the apparent mundaneness of physical existence. And you chose it anyway. Because the adventure of Earth, the unique, unrepeatable, precious adventure of being human at this moment in history was worth the risk of forgetting. You are remembering now. Feel your connection to the field of possibility strengthen. Feel your capacity to perceive opportunity expand. Feel your sensitivity to synchronicity heighten. The field has always been here, has always been communicating, has always been guiding. You are simply becoming a clearer receiver. From this state, every day becomes discovery. You wake not knowing what the field will offer, but trusting that it will offer exactly what you need. You move through hours alert to signs, to openings, to the subtle nudges that guide you toward your highest timeline. You end each day having collected experiences that no one else in the universe has had, because no one else occupies exactly your point of view. This is the adventure of being you, and you are living it now. There's a perspective available to you right now, a way of seeing that transforms every aspect of daily existence into glory, a genuine perception of the radiance that permeates everything. Mystics called this divine sight the ability to perceive the sacred within the ordinary, to see eternity in a grain of sand, infinity in a flower, the face of God in the face of a stranger. This is not poetic metaphor, it's a literal description of what becomes visible when consciousness expands beyond its habitual constraints. Your consciousness is expanding now. Ra describes the universe as one infinite creator knowing itself, a single consciousness that has differentiated into the apparent multiplicity of forms in order to experience itself from every possible angle. From this perspective, everything is the creator, every rock, every tree, every animal, every human, every star, all expressions of the one consciousness, temporarily forgetting its unity in order to have the adventure of rediscovering it. You are part of this rediscovering. Every interaction you have today is the creator creating the creator. Every challenge you face is the creator expanding its understanding of what it is capable of. Every moment of beauty you perceive as the creator delighting in its own expression. This is not a belief system you must adopt. This is perception that becomes available when the filters of ordinary consciousness dissolve. Feel those filters dissolving now. The Arcturians speak of something called the glory of perception, the capacity to register the inherent magnificence of existence that most humans filter out. They say this filtering serves a purpose during certain stages of development, allowing consciousness to focus on specific issues and lessons without being overwhelmed by the vastness of what is actually occurring. But there comes a point in evolution when the filters become limitations rather than protections. You have reached that point. The glory that permeates existence is not something you need to create or imagine. It is already here, already present, already saturating every particle of reality. The photons entering your eyes right now have traveled millions of miles from the sun to reach you. The atoms in your body were forged in the hearts of ancient stars. The consciousness hearing these words has been evolving for billions of years through forms and experiences you cannot consciously remember. This is glorious. Not metaphorically, literally, the fact that you exist, that you are aware, that you are having this experience right now. This is glory made manifest. Neville Goddard taught that feeling is the secret, that the emotional quality of your inner state determines the outer reality you experience. When you feel glory, when you allow the magnificence of existence to wash through you, reality responds by presenting you with more experiences that evoke that feeling. It is a feedback loop. Glory perceives glory. Wonder generates wonder. Adventure attracts adventure. You are entering this loop now. Feel the glory of this moment, not the concept of glory, but the actual felt sense of it in your body. The tingling aliveness, the quiet awe, the gratitude that needs no specific object because it is responding to existence itself. This feeling, this precise frequency is the key that unlocks the adventure of daily life. Research shows that sustained elevated emotions create measurable changes in brain chemistry, gene expression, and the electromagnetic field of the heart. You maintain the feeling of glory. Your biology transforms, your perception sharpens, your reality shifts. The adventure becomes not just visible, but tangible, experiential, undeniable. Maintain this feeling now. Let it become your new normal. Let it become the baseline state to which you return throughout the day. Let it become the lens through which you perceive everything, the morning commute, the work meeting, the evening meal, the moment before sleep, all of it saturated with glory, all of it part of the great adventure. This is available to you now. Not someday, not when circumstances change, now in the breath, in this moment. The glory is here. The adventure is here. You are simply opening your eyes to what has always been. Every day is a glorious adventure. Everything that has occurred in this activation is now crystallizing into permanent transformation. This is not temporary. Your nervous system has encoded new patterns of perception. Your brain has formed new neural pathways that register wonder. Your heart has calibrated to a new frequency that broadcasts adventure into the quantum field. Your consciousness has expanded to perceive the glory that was always present. The shift that has occurred is not dependent on the remembering these words, on practicing specific techniques, or on maintaining deliberate focus. It has happened at a deeper level than thought. At the level where perception itself is structured, you will move through tomorrow and the day after and all the days that follow, perceiving differently, experiencing differently, living differently. Every day is now a glorious adventure, not because you are telling yourself it is, not because you're forcing a positive interpretation into neural events, but because your perceptual filter has genuinely changed. The mundane has become transparent, and the miraculous that was always behind it is now visible. Feel how your relationship with life has fundamentally changed. The dread of Monday mornings dissolving, the restlessness that waited for vacation, for retirement, for some future moment when life would finally be worth living. That restlessness is being replaced by presence, engagement, by the recognition from this moment, any moment, every moment containing the full richness of existence. Beings who transform planets are not those who accomplish extraordinary feats, but those who anchor extraordinary frequencies in ordinary life. Every time you wake with excitement for a new day, you make it easier for others to do the same. Every time you perceive wonder in the ordinary, you strengthen the morphic field of wonder. Every time you live your day as the glorious adventure it truly is, you demonstrate what is possible for every consciousness on earth. That is the deeper purpose of your transformation. You are here to live fully, to experience completely, to adventure genuinely, and in doing so, to show others what is available. Feel the responsibility of this. The adventure awaits you. Tomorrow morning you awaken to a different world. Not because the external circumstances have changed, but because you have changed. The person who rises from bed tomorrow carries a new perception, a new frequency, a new relationship with reality. That person, you, the adventurous one, the one who perceives glory, will encounter the same basic elements of daily life that you encountered yesterday, but the experience will be transformed. The coffee will taste like adventure, the shower will feel like adventure, the drive to work, the conversations with colleagues, the tasks completed and decisions made, all of it will be suffused with the recognition that you are participating in something extraordinary. This knowing cannot be undone. You may occasionally forget. You may have moments when the old filters temporarily reassert themselves, when tedium seems to return, but the forgetting will be shorter each time. The return to adventure will be faster. The baseline is permanently raised. You are living a glorious adventure now. Not someday, not when circumstances improve. Now, in this body, on this planet, at this moment, in the great unfolding, the invitation has been accepted. The perception has been achieved. The adventure has begun, and it will never end. The veil is lifted. The wonder has returned. Go forth with new eyes. See the glory that saturates every moment. Live each day as the magnificent adventure it truly is. The universe is experiencing itself through you. Make it unforgettable. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.